Hello, this is Synoptic and this is mark number 6 of my Napoleon Total War commentaries. Now, I'm playing as Spain on the map Austerlitz, 2v2. My teammate BW Angelos is playing as Sweden. This is not a dual commentary, by the way. For those wanting one, it should happen pretty soon. Still trying to find a time because both of us are pretty busy as of late. My opponent Charlie Rambo is playing as France, and GB, the Duke of Wellington, is playing as Prussia on that massive hill. I'd encourage you to watch that map there to keep a track of what's going on, although you won't have to do much to see what Prussia's doing, because if you skip all the way to the end, he's going to still be there. My opponent is going to be more courteous and attack me, which is great, which is also why I'm going to post this, and it's going to show some land exploitation tactics. Most of this is going to take place in the woodland. You can see all the green on the map. So my opponent really wants to take the right side, right next to the red line. I'm going to attack it, the leftmost part. I'm also going to advance an echelon. He's going to try and envelop me, to which I'm going to respond by enveloping right back. Most of the builds are kind of standard, apart from the fact we don't really have much cavalry. I only have one, and Angelos has two. I'll type all that stuff in the video information if you want it. Whereas our opponents are they're using pretty normal builds. Bunch of light, bunch of line, bunch of cav, some artillery. I got one cannon. I'm zoned in on his general. I don't think he's noticed yet. His gen's on the top of the hill, seemingly safe, not to a cannon. And we'll see what happens after 6 or so volleys. Okay, so I've engaged on the left, and I'll pretty soon go into melee and then engage in the mid. This is one of maybe 3 shots of Angelos' fight, because that's one of maybe 3 moves his opponent makes. So the whole time Angelos will be enveloping, you'll slowly see that occur. Now this is showing how fat and slow horses are on the snow. I set a square, that was pretty late square, and it still took him forever to get there. Oh, would you look at that? That's a general. What's the general doing?
We have killed their general, sir. Now they must break.
The horses are pleased. Off you go. So yeah, it's inevitable that foot artillery with cannons is going to hit a general if they don't move it, and it's very hard to tell that your general's under attack until it gets actually hit. I know there's some, you get a lot of warning messages with the picture-in-picture, although that's normally from stray bullets, so a lot of people ignore that. Although the advantage is definitely mine now that the general's gone. However, this is France we're talking about, that nation which every single person plays. If you were to play a drinking game where every time your opponent plays France and you had to have a shot, you would be dead. Now, I've started to attack the left, full on now. I got my cav in there, it's line cavalry, it's just a basic medium cav. There aren't many medium cav units in the game, it's either light or heavy. I don't find them too bad for their price. And this is a very basic cavalry move where you snag your opponent's cav, they follow you, you run your cavalry back into a square. Although the cavalry are moving so slow, it's kind of pointless, the effect is lost. My opponent tries to do a pretty big cav assault counterattack in the middle. I form a square, retreat my light infantry, although I have also double line fire. I got line infantry in the back. You saw from the start I had foot guards behind my line infantry, mostly for this purpose, because there's not much room for flanking, so any cav is going to come right from the front. Although still powerful, if I have line in the back, there will be a lot of cover, and all that cavalry soon die. He's advancing his infantry at the same time, which is the perfect move, perfectly done, and this is some awesome old guard action. Them and their goddamn perfection have to be good at every freaking stat. Plus, they frighten units for whatever reason. I don't know why. I mean, if you were an infantry seeing dots on the other side of the field, you wouldn't really know that they were old guard, or would you? So my foot guard on the left has ran out of ammo. I've engaged melee. I had a line cavalry run from the back. It is best not to use a charge. Do not charge your opponent if you have line infantry in the way. You'll charge your own men and kill more of your own than them. So I just did a movement action, or command, and when they made contact, then they started doing their melee business, so that way none of my men died from a charge, because there was none. It's just that simple. Just little things like that, if you keep watch, your army will survive all the better. And the middle there was kind of a stalemate, because I started to do fire and retreat. He had no light infantry on that side, he just had very, very strong infantry, and he tried to keep flanking me. I flanked him back. Angelos is also there, blocking him off. You can see the 2 blue areas in the middle, just blocking both armies from helping each other. Not implying that Prussia would have helped anyway, but what do you know. So as Angelos blocks his way, France is going to start retreating, and also I'm going to keep advancing. I just have to do that. There's no point in me standing there. I could just use my artillery to keep firing, although, as I said in previous videos, cannons on infantry, not so good. Unless you're on a hill, then the killing is kind of magnified. Prussia does try and get some cheap shots on me, trying to envelop, although I just turn my men around and he'll just turn himself back around and go back to his tent. And this is when some unexpected events happen, and he goes mass melee. And now I said his army is very strong in terms of stats. If he just goes into melee, which he is right now, old guard, young guard, and plus a massive hill, is going to be quite devastating. I'm going into squares to kind of nullify his charge bonus, as well as the fact I still have some double lines happening. So I've got line infantry ready to take advantage over the extra angles I get, because they're kind of just enveloping over the square and just making them all the easier to shoot. Angelos also sent a cavalry down to aid me with the rear charge, quickly ending the old guard. So ye old guard received ye old lance to the butt, and now I have a whole bunch of units trying to melee my guard in square, which is quite difficult. I also have covering fire from multiple units anyway. So this is going to be a pretty good final stand for his army. You can also see I've set barrage and round shot all over the place with my single cannon. Oh, and Prussia actually shot Angelos' general. So what goes around comes around. I killed mine with the same thing. It's very possible from his position as well, seeming this is on a hill. A very, very big hill. And if you want to go back to the start, you'll notice that those red dots haven't really moved. He hasn't got much mileage. I think he runs backwards more than he does forwards. As you see, they're standing, which is the standard strategy his line infantry have employed from the beginning of the game. You can see the clock at the bottom there. It's been maybe 35 minutes, so the cramps all around. I actually get so bored I start fast forwarding, and he actually quits at this point. So the basic strategy of this player would be to stand still for half an hour and then to disconnect, which is a pretty sound strategy. I can respect that. And there's some lifeguards, of course, air swinging their way to victory. That's the way. And as I said, I got pretty bored, and I started watching some silly things from the AI, because you can always have more AI business. It's always funny to watch. It tries to kill me in a wedge against my cannons. You see that canister shot just kill the entire freaking unit. Good stuff. Good stuff. That's why we play the game. Drag on, buddy. Drag that boy to safety. Snow to the face. Whenever I see that horses drag around like the infantry around, I kind of think of Tony Hawk for some reason. It's like face grind, 50 points. It's like you gotta get a combo. Manual. He needs his manual to get more points. And you can see Angelos' army. That's what happens when there's AI taking over. It just kind of walks around, spasms, gets shot, and routes. Although it still seems to provide a challenge to most campaign players. Oh, so yeah, I already kind of explained what happened in that battle. So good game to all those who played. Thanks for watching.